So next is Holly Terrill. She's a nonprofit leader, writer, and advocate, passionate about building stronger, more inclusive communities. With nearly 2 decades of experience in the nonprofit sector. They currently serve as executive director of Bike Walk Wichita, a lifelong optimist. They believe in the power of intentional gladness and strive to inspire others through their work, writing, and everyday interactions. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you. I'm not opposed to international gladness. That's okay too. Hello, my name is Holly and I have ADHD. For much of my life, I didn't have the words to describe why I felt different. I just knew I was always too much, too loud, too energetic, too emotional, too forgetful. School was where I learned to outrun my brain. I became an overachiever, straight A's, perfect attendance, constant gold stars. If I could stay ahead, maybe no one would notice how it really felt. I don't think my parents even connected my persistent procrastination with ADHD. I masked hard by hyper-organizing, overcommitting, apologizing for taking up space. I thought I was lazy or broken. It turns out I was just undiagnosed. And although my therapist advised that it isn't the kind of test that one wants to ace, getting diagnosed with ADHD as an adult was like someone handing me a missing chapter of my own story. Suddenly, my life made sense. But it wasn't just relief. It was also frustration. Frustration for the kid who thought that they weren't trying hard enough, and for the adult who still believed it. ADHD is an invisible disability, especially when you don't fit the mold. The world wanted me to be quiet, neat, and easy to define. But inside, chaos. Relentless, but beautiful chaos. I spent decades chasing neurotypical standards, productivity, focus, being normal. But breaking that cycle is where the real story begins. See, ADHD makes me creative. It makes me passionate, and it makes me me. But the world isn't built for brains like mine. There are days when I still forget appointments, I miss deadlines, I start 10 projects and maybe finish 2. I'm told that my Google Calendar often intimidates those who happen to glimpse it because I have learned to plan, sometimes over-plan my days. But it's because I strive to get it all done. But that does not make me a failure. It makes me human. It makes me resilient. And it's taught me that joy, radical, intentional joy, is my superpower. And that's why I wrote my book, Be More Pollyanna, not as a toxic positivity guide, but as a love letter to finding light, even when the world feels heavy. Choosing gladness is not naive. It's an act of defiance, especially when you live in a world that keeps telling you that you're wrong, that you're too much. ADHD shaped me, but it didn't limit me. It made me passionate, creative, and deeply curious. It's why I throw my whole heart into the things I love: writing, community, advocacy. I'm all in every time. But it also made me a community builder. I lead a nonprofit now, and every day I get to think about the barriers that we can help tear down. Because breaking barriers isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quietly choosing to show up as your whole, messy, authentic self every single day. It's choosing to break cycles, offering the kind of understanding that I didn't always have at school or work or in the community, reminding myself and others that our brains aren't broken, they're brilliant. It's finding people who see you and love you anyway. Years ago, at a comic convention, impulsivity won out. I excitedly snatched a metal Buffy the Vampire Slayer lunchbox right out of my friend Molly's hand, and I bought it right on the spot before Molly or I even knew what was happening. Thankfully, she has a sense of humor and a big heart. It's rewriting your own story. One where success isn't measured by perfection, but by joy, by connection, by how fully we live. I don't always get it right, but today I stand here as an author, a leader, a mom, a messy human with ADHD. But I choose gladness, because joy is resistance. Joy is breaking barriers. And every day I choose to live loudly, fully, beautifully differently. Thank you.